What do you need to see from Mac Jones on Sunday to be convinced that not only was this the right decision, but that this is a team that could do some damage this year?
I think Mac just needs to be exactly what they thought he was coming out of Alabama, which is a guy who is a quick decision maker and who is extremely accurate with the football. As long as he does that, then New England's going to be right there. New England's going to be right there to contend for the division title. New England's going to be a force to be reckoned with, which I think they're going to be anyway. Because they're going to protect Mac. They're going to run the ball very well. They have just a bevy of running backs. They're going to play great defense. And you know Bill will put them in situations, or rather he will be able to manage them in situations that are game-changing, game-deciding situations. So as long as Mac, as simple as this sounds, does his job and does exactly why they drafted him, which is, again, be fast with your decision-making. Put the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them go to work. New England's going to be tough to beat. They're going to be very tough to beat. And you can just see why Bill went down this road with this particular player at this particular time.
So, Bartholomew, I listen to that radio show of yours, Bart and Hahn, every single day. And so I am well aware that you do not have high expectations for Mac Jones or the Patriots this year. Why not?
No, this is a good team. It's just the AFC are so stacked, Greeny. And when you think about it, you think about this division, you can make the argument that Mac Jones is the worst or the least talented quarterback within this division. I understand location matters, right? He went to a team that has a great coach, has a great offensive line, but I think people are underestimating what Brian Flores has done down there in Miami. Miami is a good football team. They were 10-6 last year. Tua, we talk about Tom not having familiarity. Tua came off of surgery. He came off really not having a COVID season. They have a better defense. They have better wide receivers. And I think, listen, the elephant in the room is nobody fears the Patriots anymore. They respect them and what they've done, what they've been in the organization, but nobody fears the fact that because 12 isn't there. The problem was 12 is always going to give this team the win. You always had that fear that he was going to come back. Mac Jones, to me, is a good quarterback, but at some point, he's going to have to beat a great quarterback, and he can't just hold on to the steering wheel and not crash the car. Well, he's actually going to have to be better than one of these young AFC quarterbacks.
That's fair. And look, it's completely unfair to expect him to be what 12 was. But if you change the uniform number, I've made the observation many times that it's hard to tell them apart. You watch him in that offense. You see him standing at the line of scrimmage doing this, all that kind of stuff. He looks just like Brady, and they're running the same exact offense.
This is the same argument I used to get when I used to pull up to a red light and I had my Rolls Royce, and they would ask me, was that a Chrysler 300? A Chrysler 300 looks like a Rolls Royce until it pulls up to a Rolls Royce, Greeny. Mac Jones may look like Tom Brady, but he ain't no damn Tom Brady.
Well, Greeny, I've never driven a Rolls Royce.
Nor I.
But I would say this.
Lose know what I'm talking about.
I would say that the people who have watched Mac Jones have been incredibly impressed with him. And the voices that I've heard, again, I say this, floor, Kirk Cousins, ceiling, Drew Brees. I've heard, yes, he does look like Tom Brady, much like a Rolls Royce looks like, what is it, a Chrysler
300 with a kid.
Okay.
Got to have a kid on it, though.
Okay, there we go. So there are some similarities. Now, no, nobody's saying Mac Jones is Tom Brady, and he has 300 regular season starts to go to catch Tom Brady. Right? 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVP. No, but when you watch him, he has some of the same characteristics, and let's see if he can grow that and become the type of quarterback that a lot of people think he can be.
Is he better than Josh Allen?
Not this minute.
Is he more talented than Zach Wilson?
I hope not.
Is he better than Tua Tagovailoa?
But is he in the Patriots system with Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels?
Yeah,
yes.
But that system, according to Asante Samuel, was just built on 12, and Bill is just a guy.
Well, we're going to find that out, all right? That's the great part about it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.